My name is Nirubin Balachandran. I am a program officer at the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation, which does philanthropic grant making. I've been working here for about 1 year. And before that, I was based in Indonesia for 7+ years with the World Bank. The Mott Foundation is a century-old foundation, which basically gives out grants, money, funding to organizations in the third sector. So mostly I work in the environmental grant making. So we give out grant funding to environmental organizations around the world, not just here in the United States. So I started out in my bachelor's degree at Rutgers as a psychology major, and then for my master's I went to Harvard for a master's in public administration with the Kennedy School of Government. If you're learning psychology or anything related to human behavior, whether it's sociology or anthropology, so on and so forth, you are learning about the way humans, people, think, behave, make decisions, build teams, develop teams, motivate each other, reduce stress, so on and so forth. And then when it comes to public administration, it's about managing and leadership as well. And lastly, when it comes to volunteering experience, I think it's related too. I first started out in Malaysia about 2007, volunteering for the UN the Refugee Commission. So that's called UNHCR. And I was interested in public service because we helped refugees from Myanmar learn English so they could be repatriated to countries around the world, and many of them successfully were. So when you serve people and you have a service mindset, then that's very relevant to the work that you do right now in the third sector. And what I do like about it is, not only just providing the money and seeing them make progress on helping the environment, protecting the environment too, but also little things like being able to approve the grant and then pick up the phone and call up the grantee wherever they are in the world and say, hello, congratulations, you've just been approved for your grant, So, they're very happy, and it's like this reaction like winning the lottery almost, So that's something I really, really like about the job. A while ago, after I, finished my time in China and came back home to the US, I was unemployed for more than a year. And that was probably one of the most challenging times in my life, maybe the most challenging year. It was depressing, it was frustrating, applying to all the jobs and not getting any response. And you start to feel things about yourself which are not real, but your mind invents things such as, maybe I'm not worth it, maybe I have no value, maybe I'm useless, And so I tell all the job seekers out there, stay persistent and focus on your strengths, because that's what will help you get the job. But it's normal for everyone to go through these things, especially when the economy is so fluid and it changes a lot. So I recommend anyone who's interested in international aid, in the third sector, you can come from a wide range of backgrounds, so there's a lot of flexibility in that. You don't have to be an expert in numbers, but you should be comfortable with numbers, but you should also have a passion for supporting organizations around the world, or even governments if you're working for funding organizations like the World Bank, to help support them so that they can be successful. You should also have some training and background regarding understanding people. You should have some training and background in a sort of international approach. So you don't need to be a major in international relations, but you should have some interest in it. And I always recommend to everybody study abroad. First of all, you need to have a caring personality. If you're mostly focused on yourself, me, you're not going to be successful in philanthropy or in the third sector, because you need to, in all those jobs, you need to be focused on other people. You know, like, it's not about you. It's like, who can I help? Who will I help? And one important question to ask yourself is, who have I helped? Right? So those are things that a caring personality. You should be comfortable with numbers, because again, you're giving out money, basically. You don't have to be a quant or a super, like an accountant ability. You don't need to have that, but you should be comfortable with them. And then finally, you should be able to, have an interest in, how organizations get results. So one way to do that is by taking classes related to strategy or international relations, or about nonprofit management, for example. Take a class that's related to global studies in a region that you're interested in, maybe with some field work. And again, as I mentioned before, please do study abroad, because at least one experience in study abroad for you will be life-changing for you. This is not me saying that, that's what the research shows, and you'll be able to help more people over the long term. And there's a lot of problems out there that need to be solved. So a generalizable degree is perfectly fine. And I minored in Asian studies with a concentration in Mandarin Chinese. And I don't think I'd really change that, because I think that was useful for me to know a language and know a region. And different people might have interests in different regions differently. Maybe I would have taken a few more classes related to management, not business, but management, because it's important to be able to manage other people. And if you're going to be a leader, then you need to make sure you have the commitment of your followers. If you don't have followers, you don't have leadership. So management, learning that early is very, very important. And I would recommend that, because that's something that I probably would have done, should have done. So if I was going to give advice to anyone considering this type of job, to work in the third sector, nonprofits, NGOs, philanthropic foundations, civil society organization, so I would say a few things. One of them is, first of all, consult a wide range of different people who are working in these fields already. Ideally, Texas A&M fellow alumni. Maybe they graduated 5 years before you. Maybe they graduated 25 years before you. But reach out to them and talk to them about their experiences, because the first people who are going to help you after you graduate are fellow alumni. The second thing is make a plan. Plan, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years in advance, not only because employers are going to ask you that in the interviews, but also it helps you have some structure. Maybe you'll end up changing careers in a few years or changing jobs. That's okay. But make sure to have a plan, because it's better than not having a plan. Doing some classes in international affairs, learning a region, learning a language, because the next several years are going to be more competitive, right? And lots more people, including around the world, are going to be competing for the same jobs you are going to be competing for. So you need to have whatever edge is necessary.